Okay, we are recording. So thank you for rejoining our event today, everyone. And I think you're really going to enjoy our next speaker. Our next speaker is Catalina Ezcurra, and she is a Stretch Zone teacher at Stretch Zone. Stretch Zone is a franchise. They're around the country now, a lot of them in Florida. And she is also getting her degree in kinesiology. She knows what she's talking about, and the Stretch Zone job, as she'll explain, has really been perfect for her in her field of study. So anyway, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Really excited to have you. And I'll just tell everyone up front that I am a Stretch Zone member. I've been doing the Stretch Zone for quite a few months, and I've had phenomenal results. I do yoga. We were just talking, and we both do yoga, but you can't stretch yourself the way you get stretched at Stretch Zone because you have somebody else that's pushing you a little bit further. So I'll let you explain how that works, Catalina, and exactly what you guys do at Stretch Zone, which is unique and why it's having such great results.
Alrighty, thank you. So a little bit about Stretch Zone is obviously everyone heard that stretching is good for you and it's good for your body. But here at Stretch Zone, what we do is we have a different series of belts that we use on our massage tables. And by using these different series of belts to help isolate your muscles, so we can really focus on each muscle and get deep into it. So your body doesn't overcompensate or switch go to a different muscle that we don't want to work with. That's a lot of problems when you try to stretch yourself. It will engage other muscles and switch to your other sides. And so the whole process with working with a series of belts really helps deepen the stretches and isolates everything specifically.
Right.
So with that, we go into 3 different levels of stretches. As you know, we go through to a light stretch, a medium stretch, and a deep stretch. And by doing that little by little and holding each for a few seconds, we work with your muscle memory. And by opening up your range of motion, that's how your body becomes more stable and more mobile and more flexible, and just improves quality of life by just walking every day to athletic ability and whatever sport that someone would do.
Yeah. For athletes, golfers, tennis players, pickleball players, it's amazing because it extends your range of motion. Range of
It
motion,
really does.
Range of motion in a golf swing, it's all about range of motion. You see the professional golfers, they have unbelievably flexible, and which is where their swing speed comes from, is their flexibility. It's basically the same in any sport, whether it's swimmer, biker, anything. Flexibility is a huge component, right?
It's a huge component, and you don't realize it, and they don't take it as seriously. But it has to do with everything. It's flexibility, your range of motion, obviously, and stretching also helps with stability, to making sure you have the proper stance and the proper position and the proper posture, so you don't injure yourself. Preventing injury is also a really big thing that we work with. That's why, and having a good range of motion does help with that as well. Like you said, in a golf swing, it's all intact in your swing. You want to be able to turn your back completely so you can get as much hit back and forth, you know what I mean? And you want to make sure your hips are stable and your legs are nice and strong. So working each of those muscles, for just golf is one example, but it really does help. Like in tennis with your knees and everything. Yeah.
Well, you said a key thing about injury, because we all, especially as we get older, we try to strain sometimes. We try to do things that our body's not letting us do, and the reason it's not letting us do it is because as we get older, we get stiffer. We don't have the flexibility that we used to have, yet we want to hit the golf ball just as far as we used to. So what do? We strain more, we make more effort, to swing harder, or to, have the full swing that we used to have. And that's how we end up injuring ourselves. That's where the shoulder surgeries and the knee surgeries and all that end up coming, I believe, from just not being stretched properly.
I completely agree. I see a lot of people, they don't take stretching seriously because, you know, they consider it as a part of their warm up, and going in depth with it is too much for them, and they just focus on their actual athletic ability. And they say, well, I don't need stretching because I don't see a difference in my game until they try stretch zone. And then they see the difference in their athletic ability.
Right.
Because as well as being participating in a game or event, your adrenaline does kick in, so you can't really tell, you know, in your brain and your body, like the difference of your flexibility and range of motion. So when we get athletes inside of stretch zone and their performance improves, it's a huge bonus, because not only do they see how good they're going to be taking care of their bodies by preventing the injury, so now you have the complete range of motion that you wouldn't have had before. Like for baseball players, for example, let's say that they were throwing an 80-mile-per-hour pitch, but now since they've stretched the rotator cuff and the chest minor, everything around there to help it out, they can go up to 90 miles per hour. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it
Exactly.
really does help and prevent the tears and
Right.
strains on any muscle.
Exactly. I had one of my grandsons was here visiting, and he's a phenomenal athlete. He's mostly water polo player, but he also does triathlons. And
Hmm.
because he can run and bike as good as he can swim. And so he came here and he did stretch zone like 2 or 3 times, and he immediately noticed a difference. People that are performing at that level, they notice it more quickly than anything. And so as a response, when he got back to California, he started stretching, and he also became a yoga instructor. So he was, getting even more, stretching, from the yoga.
Yeah.
And so now he really gets, how important it is to stretch, for him in his performance and everything. So anybody who's engaging in any kind of athletics is going to notice a difference with stretch zone after I would say 2 or 3 sessions, wouldn't you? Something like that.
You feel it right after the first session that you
Right.
have
Right.
immediately, because once you get off that table, you feel lighter, you feel just more like open and you can do
Right.
more.
Right.
To feel the full effect so it doesn't go away, I'd say like, yeah, 2 or 3 sessions, about like a month into it, you really start to see a huge change in your everyday life, not just your athletic ability.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So tell us a little bit about stretch zone and how stretch zone came into being, and what how it's going and how it's building, and where locations are in this area, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So Stretch Zone started about 10 years ago. Our founder, he was a personal trainer actually here in Florida, and his grandfather was sick at the hospital and really wasn't able to move, completely immobile. And little by little, since he knew a lot about the body and how to work with it, he would just start stretching his grandfather in different ways that he would think would help him eventually. And over the course of a year, you know, his grandfather actually was able to stand up, walk around. He was able to dance at the wedding for some of his family members. And so for that, our founder was able to see the importance of stretching, not just in athletic ability, and in everyday people's lives. So from that, he decided to create Stretch Zone. And here we are to this day. We have over 100 locations nationwide. Most of our locations are in Florida. We do have in Boca, we have like 3 or 4 stores. We have
Right. Yeah.
one store in Delray. We have 2 in Boynton, and the list just keeps going on. We go all the way up to Orlando, but to
Mhm.
Jupiter, PGA, Wellington, a
Mhm.
bunch of locations to try out. So we work with any type of person. You can be athletic, you can be disabled, injury, sciatica pain is what we honestly see most common, back pain and neck pain,
Shoulders
just
too, right? A lot of shoulders.
shoulder
Yeah.
pain, yeah, everything. We get people that used to have rotator cuff injuries that you know, they did their physical therapy, but they still don't have their complete range of motion back. So we work with that a little bit. Um, and yeah, I've seen so much progress from people that I have worked with personally, and it's amazing to see. I'm really happy to be able to be a part of this. It's just completely amazing. So yeah, I think especially since COVID has happened as well, even though business did take a little bit of a hit, a lot of people have been more like more at home. So, yeah, exactly. And they don't move around too much. They don't go outside, which is completely understandable because of the pandemic going around. But as a collective, a lot of people have just been becoming more tighter. And you don't notice that the lower half of your body is connected to your torso and your back. And by not moving around your legs could cause you in back pain, neck pain, even your posture can cause, shoulder strain all the way to your upper and mid back as well. So anyone can really benefit from stretching. It doesn't have to be, a specific reason.
Right. Well, I would say this as somebody in their 70s is that and being athletic and always trying to participate in golf, tennis, pickleball, all these things. If I know this, if I would have known about Stretch Zone, I would not have needed my shoulder surgery. I would not have needed my knee surgeries. And so I wish I had started doing this a long before, because I don't think those injuries would have ever happened. If I had been stretched properly and had that flexibility, because I was just straining because I was tight, getting tighter and thinking that I could move like I could when I was younger. And the reality is I probably could move like I was younger if I had been stretching and doing Stretch Zone. So I would say to anybody, any aging athletes like me that want to continue, to do the sports that you love as you get older, this is going to be critical. This is not something that's optional. This is something, to me, I'm telling you, this is something you have to do if you want to be able to continue to compete in whatever sport it is that you love. And so it's really pretty miraculous. It really is. And it's really a simple thing. We were talking about this earlier. You can't stretch. You can stretch, you can do yoga, but you can't get that extra little bit, that little bit of increment that when somebody's stretching you can get. Would you elaborate a little bit more on that? Okay.
Yeah, of course. So like we're talking about, like we do yoga ourselves, and I thought that I was pretty flexible before I started working with this company, and I thought I was great and all that, but stretching, I'm like, oh yeah, I can stretch my leg behind my head. But when I got on the table myself, just to see the difference that I couldn't bring it closest to my chest, like for a glute stretch, for example, like I can't pull my leg that far and I can't pull my leg this way. It takes that person doing it for you to take it like that extra little step. It's just a little bit that matters. So your muscle memory and your range of motion gets pushed a little bit further. Your brain will not allow you to push past a certain threshold just because that's just how the body works. And from that, it creates a very big difference in stretching in yourself and then having someone else do it for you.
Right.
It's unfortunate because you were just saying that not a lot of people, you could have prevented your injuries by stretching if you had known, but a lot of people don't know that stretching is so important. People associate stretching with yoga, and a lot of people, to everyone's own taste, but a lot of people don't like yoga. And that's completely understandable. And that's why Stretch Zone is here to be the other alternative. So you don't have to sit there and meditate and like do the breathing. You just have to lay down on the table and we'll stretch for you.
Right.
It's a little bit easier for those people who don't like it and are more on the go, obviously. The sessions normally last only 30 minutes. So within that 30 minutes, we do quick motions and only hold each stretch for 2 seconds because we don't want to go into it really, really deep and we prevent injuries. We don't cause them.
We don't I just wanted to make that point, and you're right on it. And that is, it's not like you're getting pushed too far. You're just getting pushed gently further, a little bit further than you would be able to do it on your own. And if at any point it's not comfortable, you just let the instructor know that it's okay, back off a little bit, because we're not trying to create pain, we're not trying to hurt you, we're trying to help you, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. So it's just a little bit further than you would be able to do on your own.
Exactly.
Not to where it's going to hurt you.
We have a communication system in place at each stretch zone
Yeah,
as
why don't you
well.
explain the 3-5-7 thing?
Yeah, so we have a 3-5-7 rule, which essentially means that on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being very low, 10 being very intense, we stick to 3 main numbers, 3, 5, and 7, to communicate how we feel during the stretch. So 3 is a light stretch, 5 is a medium stretch, and then 7 is a deep stretch. But even at a 7, no one should ever feel any discomfort, just that, that stretch burn that we're aiming for.
Mhm.
So we hit all 3 of those, 2-second hold for each level of a stretch, because we don't want to get to that 10. That 10 is when your muscle breaks off the bone. Like, that is injury. We don't want to get there. We're preventing injury, like I just said. We get to that 7 and it's a perfect place. So you feel it and you feel the difference, but we go back to normal. And each week or each session that you come, we work a little bit more and more, and you'll see your 7 go from here to a little bit more open, a little bit more open, and a little bit more open. Because obviously us stretchers do not know what your body is feeling. We can feel a reflex here and there, or when your muscles tighten up,
Right.
but everyone's different in their own body. Some people have, like nerve issues where they feel pain like really, really fast, but their range of motion feels like you can like bend their leg the complete other way. So
Well,
that communication system is very
right,
important.
and I also found that I had like maybe 2, 3, 4 different people work on me the first couple of weeks, and I found that this one person really, we communicated really well, and she got to know my body, and I was, and I could feel the difference, and so I just stuck with her from that point on, and
Yeah,
I think she knows exactly what she's doing, and I you know, just have had great results, with her. So
exactly.
and you can do that right at Stretch Zone. You can, pretty much make appointments with, whoever, you feel is like
Yeah,
doing
obviously it's like going to like a massage therapist almost, where you kind of try around to see who you fit with best.
right.
Because obviously no, there's some people that are just going to cooperate with your body a little bit more. Everyone's different. Like I'm a female, I'm not as strong and bulky as a man who can like really push deep, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I have my own clientele that they work with me, I work with them. I know their bodies very well, I know how they respond to certain
Exactly.
stretches,
Yeah.
and that's very important as well. So they know your body, and no stranger comes in and just tries to put you in a weird stretch and something bad
I'm
happens.
glad we
So
covered this because it is important. It's an important part of Stretch Zone. It's not like you're required to come in and whoever's available, you have to take that person. You can set your appointments with who you want to set them with.
yeah, and also for each of our clients that come in, we do keep a very detailed like note base
Right.
for what each stretch that we do on you. We keep notes of it each session that you come in, and how we communicate it, and how you felt, and anything that you
Right. And
communicated. If you're feeling a little bit in your left hip one day, we report everything.
and that is important because if somebody's on vacation, your regular stretcher is on vacation, the person who you do get, who's taking their place, has that record, right? And they can see all
Exactly.
the notes, on everything that's going on and where you are, and
Exactly, because everyone likes their person. Like all my coworkers have their own clients, and they're very specific.
right,
But luckily, we do have that. We have that in place where we can just read out the notes and try to get to our best abilities to know the person's body without actually knowing it until we get to it.
right, right. Well, everybody I've had has been great. It's just,
Glad to hear.
sometimes you get somebody that's just, really perfect for you. I think that it's really important to know that this virtual summit that we're doing here is designed for Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Boynton Beach, and
Hmm.
you have locations in all 3 cities and multiple locations in Boca, right, and multiple locations in Boynton, correct?
Yes. So we have 2 locations in Boynton, one in West Boynton and one in East Boynton, both on Wilbright.
Okay.
We have one in Delray, in West Delray on 441 and Atlantic, and then we have a store on Palmetto, East Palmetto, and then a store on Clintmore and Military.
What about the federal highway one? Is that one still there or is that one gone?
The federal highway on Palmetto?
No, there was a federal highway one in Boca. Was it on Palmetto? Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe that was, I don't think that was on Palmetto, or was it? Maybe that is.
I believe it was on Palmetto. We have different franchises, all our different stores.
You know what? I think
Um,
this was a different store. I think this is a different franchise on Federal.
yeah, it could be a different franchise. I actually have it pulled up right here, actually. Yeah, there's another one by,
Federal Highway, right?
it's on Federal, right by FAU.
Right. Right.
Yes, you were correct.
Yes.
Yes, there's that one. There's yeah, so we get a little bit of the east, west, so it's on both sides, so anyone that's kind of in between can choose to which location they would
Right.
want to go to.
Right.
Always choose the location that's closest to you, because obviously it's more convenient.
Right. Right. Excellent. Well, this has been great. I think that people just need to know that this is something, if you're going to be active, you need, even if you're not going to be active, even if you're not an athlete, you need this, right? I mean,
Yeah, no,
everybody.
I've been stretching everyone in my family to this point. Ever since I started, I got so excited, and I'm like, oh my God, everyone needs to know how important this is, because they're not going to listen to me when I was a yoga instructor.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I have the, the place to tell everyone that, stretching is very important. I want them to know. Don't want anyone to get
Right.
injured, or
Right.
be super tight. It doesn't feel good being tight. It doesn't. You want to be able to move around and have your
Right.
complete flexibility and range of motion, even in normal life. You don't want your back pain or leg or hamstring tightness to prevent you from bending down or playing with your dog.
Right.
It's very important. Up to my little sister, well, you shouldn't, anyone under 14 shouldn't stretch to affect your growth plates, especially like deep stretches. That's very important. So we always recommend 14 and up to come.
Okay. I did not know that. That's very important.
But I stretch my sisters. They're very important. My sisters are cheerleaders, so I stretch them. My mom, she actually has fibromyalgia, so stretching has actually really helped her overcome a lot of like the pain, the muscle spasms that she deals with. My dad's a runner. He has the tightest hamstrings ever. So like we have to stretch those out constantly.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, it's very, very important. I can't stress it enough. I
Yeah.
wish I can get everyone like in
Oh,
as
I
soon
know.
as
This is
possible.
something everyone should do. It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
Is there a website that people could go to find all the different locations?
Yeah, you can go to stretchzone.com, and see all of our locations, or a little type into Google as well.
Okay.
It doesn't specify which franchises are under each,
Right.
because let's say if you come to my stretch zone, which is in West Boynton, and you work with us, and you want to switch, you have the opportunity to go to a different store if it's more convenient for you, as long as it's in our franchise, like Wellington, or the one on Palmetto is in our franchise. So we just want to make sure that it's all under the same one, so you can come and use your sessions wherever you'd like.
Okay. Okay. That's a good thing to know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that's excellent. And your store is in Boynton on Woolbright. Is your the west one or the east one?
we're the west one. We're on Woolbright and Jog.
Woolbright and Johns. Okay. Excellent.
Yes. Woolbright and Federal is also a great location. I know the manager over there. She's great. The one in Delray is also great. The manager there is amazing. So you'll be lucky to go wherever you
Excellent.
end up.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, thank you very, very much. I think people know now, they have a good idea of where you guys are, when they can come. And is it, your hours are start at 9, right? 9 to usually?
Actually, we open during the weeks at 7 a.m.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, we close at 6 p.m. and on the weekends we're open from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And you can buy a package, right? I mean, you have different rates for how many you sign up for and things like that.
Yeah, we have 3-month packages, and then we have 1-month packages, depending on how your body is and what you want to do. We'll work with you and kind of figure out a good program for you, so you can get your range of motion.
Would you say most people come in a couple times a week is on average?
Yeah, on average, I'd say 1 or 2 times a week is the most common. 3 times
Right.
a week is probably the most intense and hard for people that work. But yeah, no, the 1 or 2 times a week is what the most recommended, because that's, you want to see results. If you come once a week and then the next week you don't come, all that work that we did just kind of gets erased, sort of. It's like
Right.
going to the gym. We're working with your muscles. You have to stay consistent. It's not like something you can just pick up and put down whenever you're ready, you have time for it.
I've noticed that after my long trip, not coming back, and I had lost some of that. So you really want to be regular with this.
Exactly. Like I mentioned, like if I don't get stretched 1 week, I will feel the difference in my hips, and I'm like, ow, okay, it's time to go for a stretch.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely. Well, I know for old people like me that like to do yoga, and you want to be able to keep up with people, you better be stretching. You better be going to flex zone or stretch zone, because otherwise, you're going to be trying to get into positions that you shouldn't be. And
Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna have a back spasm, and then it's not
yeah,
cute.
and then you're stuck in
It's
a
not
whole
good.
cycle. You're always trying to heal the last injury instead of making progress. So
Exactly.
that's the difference. So, all right. Well, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. And good luck to you and your career. And I hope you stay with the company, because it sounds like you've done well there, and it's a great company. And they are probably a wonderful place to continue as an
Thank,
occupation. Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.
All right. And everyone, thank you for joining us today. And we'll see you soon on our next episode. Thank you.
All right.